We got Sarah Kaufman back here on the program, who's going to be in the PFL upcoming women's season here on May 9th, the first card. It's going to be against Morgan Frier. Sarah, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm great. Thanks. First session done. Next session ready to go. So it's
That's
good.
good. Well, I won't keep you too long for the second session, but let's talk about this huge opportunity here with PFL. At what point was this on your radar? How did this all come together?
It initially came together. I heard about it, kind of partway through last season, actually, that they were talking about potentially putting in a women's lightweight division this year. And I thought, that seems weird. There's not going to be anyone to do it. And then, what was it, New Year's Eve, when the last finals were, I was down in Vegas helping Joanne Calderwood get ready for her fight, training at Syndicate there, and we were watching the fights and talking about different opportunities and what was coming up for me. And I said, I mean, if there's $1 million on the line, I could fight at 55, like half joking but not joking. And we just kind of started getting the ball rolling and contacted Ray Sefo, and it just all ended up working out.
Yeah, it certainly did, and we're very excited for this tournament. Now, I saw you in Calgary last July. I remember you were there, and I know the plan was to try and get in the ear of the UFC and see if you could get re-signed. Was there any dialogue there? Because I think a lot of people were surprised that they didn't pick you up because you've been very successful since leaving the UFC.
I don't know. It's kind of the fight game, and I've just been doing what I've been doing, and trying to put up good performances, and it's been hard to get opportunities outside. When 135ers are pretty much all in the UFC that were willing to fight me, and opportunities didn't work out. And then I was tired of waiting and started looking for other things. And when PFL kind of came up as a possibility, and then it became a little bit more real, and then the contract came in, it definitely made sense as the next step to move forward. And I want to be the best in the world, and I know at 135 I can be the best in the world, but I also think that 155 I can be the best in the world, and that's what this season is out to prove.
And I actually think this is a better scenario for you, to be honest, because if you had gone back to the UFC, you might have got on a card. Who knows if it's the prelims or not. You're front and center in this thing. I think if people look at this tournament, it's you and Kayla Harrison, and it's on ESPN. I mean, you must have been very excited to, once you sign pen to paper, they get the ESPN deal. You must have been like, yeah, this was the right decision.
I didn't even know about the ESPN deal when I initially signed with the PFL, and it's definitely a bonus to be ESPN Plus, ESPN2, TSN in Canada. The exposure is really great, and definitely I'm valued as an athlete with the PFL. Their kind of playoff format, their league format is just really neat. It's really fresh, something totally new. It almost, because I'm going up, 2 different weight classes, it kind of makes me feel like a throwback to the Pride, where people just fought and they put on great fights, and it didn't really matter if you were in the same division or not. It's a really exciting feeling for me. And after being in the sport for 13 years, it's just something that I haven't done yet, which is pretty incredible.
Do you have to do anything differently to, compete at in this weight class? Like, are you bulking up, or you just go in, don't cut any weight, and just,
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, how do you prepare for that? It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I actually don't sit that small initially. So to get to 35, I diet down with my training. I cut down, modify my eating. And so at 55, I'm planning on going in fully healthy. Body's going to be healthy. Mind's healthy. I'm able to eat what I need to eat to fuel my body and feel strong. I do know that I'll probably be on the smaller end of some of the girls who are fighting. I don't know if they're planning on cutting weight or not. Because there is, another 35er in there. There's a few 45ers. So it'll be interesting to see how the landscape pans out. But I'm definitely going to be using my speed and my strength and my experience once I get in there.
What do you know about Morgan Frier, your opponent?
Pretty much nothing, which is fine. It's again something that's a little bit more exciting because there isn't a lot of footage, there isn't a lot of tape. I'm kind of looking at it as she's going to be a great opponent, and I'm just going to be better. And so I'm going to be better in every aspect. I'm going to go in there, do what I want to do, not be too concerned about what she's going to do. I kind of know that she's 5'8"-ish, maybe. Probably a bit bigger. She looks strong. So kind of anticipating those things, a height difference, a reach difference, and strength. But other than that, I don't actually care.
How have you, done your training camp for this fight, just with the fact that, you're going to be fighting bigger people? So do you, train with bigger guys, or how does that even work? Like, is there anything you can utilize in your camp to benefit you in the tournament?
I'm really fortunate that, at Zuma we have a really great mixture of people to train with. We just had four guys all competing at the amateur nationals for MMA. And so, Russ McCumber, who competed at 155 there. So, he was pretty much right around my weight. He's a little bit bigger than me. He's about 170 now. So I have people bigger than me. I have people my size. I have lots of females and just different body types. I'm trying not to keep too consistent, get too used to anything, too comfortable. I actually, when we were out in Lethbridge, I had Leah Taylor, who's a really good black belt, drive out. And so she's heavier than any of the girls that I'm going to be competing against. And so just challenging myself in different ways, but keeping the training strong and solid and, feeling great.
How much do you think your experience will play in this? Because you by far have, kind of wiped out the competition in that regard. Like no one can really compare to, fighting Valentina Shevchenko or, all the wins that you've had. I mean, it's incredible the amount of experience you're bringing into this.
Experience is huge. Definitely I can use that to my advantage, be calm, stay collected. But I think that there's something fun about the inexperience fighting the experience, because that can throw you for a loop. And so again, I'm going into this not really thinking about my past. I have that. I know that that's there. I've done it. I've been in the cage, but it's still a new experience every time you get in there. And so that's how I'm taking it, one step at a time, and just excited to, because I want 6 points, push myself to try and get a first round finish.
Right. Yeah, no, the points are very, very important. We talked a little bit about training camp there. I imagine the entire time has been, back home at Zuma. Is there any thoughts throughout this tournament or throughout the season to do any more cross training? Because I know you mentioned Syndicate. I know you've also trained at Rufus Sport. Is that something you're looking at, or would you rather just keep things simple and train back home?
I love training back home, and I don't really need to leave, but it's always nice to have different bodies to work with, coaches that you respect and that you trust. And so, I'd love to go out and be out at Duke's for a bit. I'll definitely be down at Syndicate. They're, quick flight. And so I've been going down to help Joanne. And then I was down again, kind of mid-February for a few days. And it's just a great group down there, great training bodies, great coaching. So I'll probably at some point end up going out to Duke's and out to Syndicate. It'll just depend on kind of who I'm fighting and what bodies I need, and what that schedule looks like, because it is a pretty quick turnaround, May 9th, July 11th. And then you do well in those, you make it to the playoffs, which are in October, and then December. So it's just fitting everything in and making sure that, body stays healthy, and, I'm challenged in the training that I need.
Yeah, and it's going to be kind of the opposite for you, because you've had a difficult time getting fights and getting opponents and having things falling through. And now here you are, guaranteed to fight if you keep winning, right? So I guess that's something you're...
Said the girls can't say no.
Exactly. That's true. Yes, exactly. Yeah, very true about that. So that's going to be excellent. May 9th, though, how do you see this fight playing out? You feel like you're going to get the win. How do you see it unfolding?
I definitely, as I say, I want that 6 points. So whatever it takes to get going fast, and whether it's TKO, whether it's submission, on the feet, on the ground, I honestly don't care. I just want to go in and kind of wreck these girls and make it happen, and, prove why I deserve to be on the best stages in the world, and why I deserve to still be in the sport. And I love the sport, and I think the last few years it's just made me love it even more. And it's also given me somewhat of a different viewpoint, in that I just don't care anymore. I don't care what other people think. I don't care what other people do, what other people are saying, what people say about me or to me or at other people. I just want to do what I want to do, and that's be the best that I can.
I'm sure it's been on your mind, and I know you're not looking too far ahead, but I'm sure you've already sort of prepared yourself mentally. If you were to fight Kayla Harrison, like, are you keeping an eye on her and just seeing, what she's been up to? Because again, I think when people looked at this tournament to begin with, it was going to be the two of you in the finals, or at least meeting at some point.
That's an opportunity that I'm hoping happens, because people want to see it. It's going to be a really fun fight. I don't know when it's going to happen, if it happens. There's really no guarantees at all in this kind of this format, but I haven't really honestly taken a look at any of the girls. I'm aware of what I'm doing, and, as we get each opponent, taking a look at them. But of course I'll be watching, we all fight on the same night, and I'll definitely be, once the season starts, I'll be watching each fight.
Last question before I let you go. Again, I'm sure this has crossed your mind. What would you do if you won the $1 million at the end of this thing? What would you do with the money?
I would do everything exactly the same that I do now, honestly. I don't think it would change my life. I've told the kids and the team at Zuma that I'll throw a huge pizza party for them.
There
Uh,
you go. Little
yeah.
ballin'. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, I honestly won't change anything in my life. It'll be great to have. You know, it's MMA is a hard sport, and you want to have a nest egg after the fact. But I love what I do.
And we love this tournament. I can't wait. It's coming up here May 9th, the first show of the season. It's PFL 1. Sarah, thanks so much for the time as always. Just remind people where they can find you on social media. And if you have any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I've actually had a lot of support, kind of locally and with companies that I'm familiar with. So Fuel Supplements Victoria, TCF Contracting, Gilmore Plumbing, and then we've had Octagon E-Liquids as well as Pure Restoration has all come on to be really supportive. And so Pure Restoration is out in Calgary. If anyone needs any house fixing, restoration type stuff, it's great that we've had so much support in terms of local companies. And then MMA, I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just making stuff up. I fight.
It's a lot of sponsors. I'd fumble them too.
Yeah, just MMA Sarah is my Twitter, and then Sarah Kaufman MMA is my Instagram.